So just to make sure, this is college algebra, right? So everybody here is in the right classroom, right? College algebra with Daniel Gray. Yeah. Okay, great. All right, so I am Daniel Gray, and I think what we're going to do first is go through the syllabus since we weren't here on Tuesday, right? So, we all know how to get the folio, right? No questions on that. Okay, good. You'll see the announcements over here, which say to verify your attendance. If you haven't done that already, definitely make sure to do it today because today is the last day of add drop, right? If you are dropped from this course, I have no power to add you back in. Yeah, so you absolutely have to do this today. Okay, fair enough. Any questions on that? You've done this for your other classes already, right? So it's not a surprise. Yeah. Okay, great. All right. Good, good. So now, let's see. Here's my announcement about the class was canceled on Tuesday, right? Here's my welcome message, which just says, if you wanted to get started, you can go over here to content, right? And that's where you're going to find everything that I post in Folio and under content, basically. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. And we see a couple of modules here. This is the Georgia Southern Attendance Verification Quiz, which that's how you can take your quiz there. Here's the syllabus and calendar, which we're going to go through. MyLab Math is where your homework assignments will be, and I have a bunch of links over here. But if you ever want to get to your assignments, you can just click on MyLab Math, all assignments, right? If you ever want to check your grades or review an old assignment that you've done, an old attempt, any attempt for that assignment, you can just click on MyLab Math Gradebook. It'll show you all of your attempts, and then you can review each one of those attempts. It will be a review link. Okay, fair enough. That's a very good thing when you're studying to look at all of your old attempts. Okay, here's the e-text, right? So this is what I told you guys to read on Tuesday when classes were canceled, right? So you can click on that and it takes you to the textbook, right? It comes with the access fee for the day one access, right? Which has already been added to your tuition, right? Okay. So, let's see. These are my links. Don't worry about those. You won't be able to see them anyway. So let's go to the syllabus. All right. Any questions first about the layout of the stuff under content? Yeah. All right. So now let's click on syllabus then. Okay. We're just going to have some nice information here, right? Maybe I'll even make it bigger, which I think I can do in here. Yeah. All right. So my name is Daniel Gray, right? And so I've been teaching here since 2015, right? So I've taught college algebra many times, but I'm always working a little bit on the format that I'm teaching. So usually I like to teach on the board. I think that's the most genuine way for me to teach. However, I have foot problems. I just had foot surgery, so now I'm going to have to be very, non-mobile. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to use my tablet and I'm going to record it and then I'll post those videos online for you. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to see how that goes. I don't have like prepared notes that you can print out and bring to class with you. And I think it's part of the studying process for you to write it yourself anyway, so I'm going to write it in real time and then you can write what I write down. And I think that'll be good overall. Okay. We'll see. Anyway, so my office hours. You're in the math physics building already, so that's great. My office is on this floor. So if you just kind of wander around long enough downstairs, right? Don't leave the building, right? If you wander around on this floor, you'll eventually see a door that says 1012 on it, right? And if you go in that door, there will be four more doors. Okay. I'm the one that has a C on it, right? And it'll say Dr. Daniel Gray on the door as well. Okay. So yeah. I will definitely be there on Mondays and Wednesdays from 1 to 2:30. If you can't meet during those times, that's okay. Just email me. We'll try to schedule something. Yeah, I'm here at other times, not many other times. I got two kids, one of them really young, so I can't be here all the time, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm sure if you email me, we'll schedule something that works. Now class time, we don't need to worry about that. You're already here, right? Credit hours are 3. Yes, textbook is Algebra and Trigonometry, 7th edition by Blitzer. I think it's still the 7th edition, pretty sure. And I've already shown you the link to the e-text, so if you want to read that, then you'll see that. You don't need to buy a hard copy or anything like that. And like I said, the day one access has already been added to your tuition cost, right? So you can check your campus finances and you can see that the tuition cost has already been added. How much is it now, by the way? It was like 45 last semester, I think. It's still 45? Yeah, okay. Yeah, just making sure in case somebody asks. All right. There's a course description here. I never really feel like it's any good to read that though, because we haven't talked about that stuff yet. So let's just skip past the course description. Okay. Prerequisite. So really there are no prerequisites for this course, right? We're assuming that if you got through high school, you've taken some high school algebra, right? And college algebra is really just high school algebra, just done a little bit faster. Right? So that's all it is. All right. Okay. Course objectives. Well, instead of laying them out here in the syllabus, I actually have a course calendar where I have all the topics broken down by when we're going to do them. So then we'll just check the course objectives when we go to the course calendar, basically. Okay. Attendance verification quiz. This is the third time I'm mentioning this. Make sure you do it today, right? Or else you will be dropped from the course and I cannot add you back in. Okay. Folio, right? We've already shown you folio. That's how we access the syllabus and everything. Okay. How do I grade you in this course? I was also sick over Christmas break, like most of Christmas break, and so I'm still coughing from that. I'm not sick anymore, but I have this to help me not cough anyway. Um, as I'm recording this video, you're probably going to hear me cough a lot, though. Just some disclaimers here. Okay. All right, so how do I grade you in this course? We have 3 in-class semester exams, not including the final exam, right? So there's a test 1, a test 2, and a test 3. Each one of those counts 15% of your course grade, so 45% total. Okay. Then we have a final exam, which is comprehensive. It is cumulative. It does cover everything in this course, right? All the test 1 material, all the test 2 material, all the test 3 material, and even some of the stuff that we are going to teach after test 3 that's still covered on the final exam. Okay. Everything that we cover in this class will be on the final exam. Okay. And that's worth 25% of your course grade. Okay. Yeah, so a quarter of your grade is that final exam. Homeworks are worth 15%. I also have these like I don't want to call them quizzes, but they're kind of like in-class quizzes. Okay. Active engagement assignments is what they're called. So basically, I'm going to cover like section 1.1 and parts of 1.2 today, right? And then we're going to have like a little problem to work on, yeah, in class, right? And I don't want to call it a quiz because I want everybody to leave here like knowing how to solve the problem. So I want everybody to have full credit on it before they leave here, right? So it's sort of like, just working towards understanding. And if you have any questions about the problem, then you can just raise your hand and I'll come by and give you some hints, see what you're doing wrong and everything like that. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. So I don't want to call it a quiz. It's an active engagement assignment. And those are worth 15% of your course grade as well. So everything's worth 15% of your course grade, except for the final exam, which is worth 25%. Okay. Fair enough. So if you want to compute your grade, you have the algebra skills to do it, right? You take your homework average, right? You multiply it by 15%. Remember, all your homework's on MyLab Math. Your active engagement assignments, right? That's going to be worth 15%, so you multiply it by 0.15. Your test averages, right? So cumulatively, it's worth 45% of your course grade. So if you take your test average test 1, test 2, and test 3 together, multiply that by 0.45, right? And then your final exam score, multiply that by 0.25. Okay. And that'll give you your grade in the course out of 100 points. Okay. I have a very standard grading scale here. If you get 90% of the points or above, you get an A, 80% or above, you get a B, and so on and so forth. Right. Okay. So there we have it, right? And that's probably the most important part of the syllabus. How do we grade you, right? Okay. Makeup policy. So, just to keep things simple, right? If you miss class for any reason, contact the Dean of Students office, right? There will be a form there that you can submit to alert faculty members that you were not in class for these days or you will not be in the class for these days because of some extenuating circumstances. And then the Dean of Students office will contact me and I'll have that in my records. Okay. Yeah. So anytime you miss class, make sure that you contact the Dean of Students office. And as long as I get a letter from them, um, then I may request additional documentation or not, depending on the circumstances, right? But I usually honor the request to extend assignments. Okay, I'm usually pretty lenient about that. Okay, unless it's like the end of the semester and it's like, well, I can't really do anything for you. Okay. Attendance, right? I'm not going to take attendance, but remember, I'm giving these active engagement assignments, and they're small problems. They should be easy, yeah, easy problems, right? And everybody should get 100% on them. But of course, you have to be here to actually take it, right? Because it's an in-class assignment. So, although I'm not taking attendance, it is in your best interest to attend every single day, right? Yeah. So do I give active engagement assignments every day? No. There have been times when I don't give active engagement assignments for a day. there have been times where I give 2 active engagement assignments in a single day, right? So it's just sort of up in the air depending on what we're learning and how much I think that we need to practice. Okay. So just come to class every day. Okay. Communication etiquette. Right. So email me, of course. And guess I can't scroll this right now. Yeah. Okay. So email me. It is the best way to reach me outside of class, and you can use the Georgia Southern email, right? I have my email above, but of course we know that if we just go to the Georgia Southern email and compose a new email, we could just type in Daniel Gray, and then a picture of me will show up. You click on that, and then you can email me. Okay. So, um, in your subject line, I would like you to put Math 1111D, right? And what that does is it lets me know this is a student emailing me, right? It's a student with a question, and it tells me exactly which class you're in, and it tells me which section you're in, right? That's absolutely important because a lot of the emails I'll get is like, when is our test? I'll be like, well, what class are you in? It depends on what class you're in, right? So if you put this in the subject line, that answers a lot of questions for me right away. Okay. So definitely make sure if you do email me to put this in your subject line. Okay. In the body of your email, it would be nice to know who I'm talking to, right? Sometimes we go by different names than what's listed on Georgia Southern's email, right? And so, like, I might not know who you are if you ask something about your grade or something, right? So make sure to put your name somewhere in the body of your email. Okay. Yeah. And so that's the communication etiquette there. Okay. All right. And then the rest of this is official university system policies. We probably don't need to go through that. You've probably gone through it about 4 times already, right, since the start of the semester. Yeah, Code of Conduct, Title IX clause, disability related accommodations, SARC, campus carry policy. This last one, I've been putting this in my syllabus since 2016, when the hurricane like knocked out power for like a week, basically. Yeah, it was Hurricane Matthew. Um, and so basically, we missed more than a week of classes that semester. I think it was like in October. Yeah. And because of that, the university came up with a policy for making up those missed classes, basically, right? If it's like up to 1 week of missed classes, then we'll just post some videos online for you to watch. But if it's more than 1 week of classes that's missed, you may be required to come in on holidays to make up that time. Yeah. And I just want to alert you to that. It's never happened, and hopefully it'll never happen. Right. Yeah. But I just wanted to alert you to that possibility. Yeah. Okay. So that's the syllabus. Any questions about anything on the syllabus? Hmm. Any questions at all? Okay. So now, oh, you know what? Something I should probably mention that's not in the syllabus here. Have we all been to room 3000 upstairs? Yeah. It's sometimes called the master lab. Yeah, it is free tutoring for college algebra, for trigonometry, for calculus, survey of calculus, calculus 2, right? All of your elementary math classes, your core level math classes, they offer free tutoring there, right? You can sit down with somebody, right? If you're having trouble with a problem, you can show them your work and they can like point out what you're doing wrong and like maybe offer suggestions for how to fix it and that kind of thing, right? So definitely you'll want to make use of room 3000 upstairs, okay? 2 floors above us, okay? All right. So, I'll post a flyer about that in Folio pretty soon. Yeah. And if I don't, somebody remind me. Okay. With their hours and stuff. All right. So that's the syllabus. Now let's go to the calendar here. Okay, so the first thing I want to note here is this line over here. It says that homeworks for each section will be due at 11:59 p.m. on the Sunday of the week that we covered the section, right? So of course we missed Tuesday this week, right? So I might have to adjust the schedule a little bit. It was the case that I intended to cover section 1.1 and 1.2 in its entirety today. I probably won't be able to cover section 1.2 in its entirety today. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make section 1.1 still due this Sunday coming up, right? And then I'll extend section 1.2 to be due the following week, right? Okay, so that would be like the 21st. Okay. Yeah, so 1.1 will still be due this Sunday, but 1.2 will be due the following Sunday. Okay. I'm not extending any other homework assignments like, 1.3 and 1.4. It's not going to cascade down, right? Yeah, that's still set for January 21st. That's still set for January 21st right now. But as we go through the course material, if we're going a little bit slow, then yeah, I'll extend those due dates, right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to overload you or anything. Okay. So, In any case, again, if I haven't extended this due date for you by the end of today, please somebody email me, right? Or a lot of people email me. It's the best way to get my attention. Um, and I will correct that before this Sunday. Okay. Okay. So let's take a look at how this thing is organized. It says week one over here, January 8th through January 12th, right? So that was this Monday up to tomorrow, right? And this is the introduction, syllabus, and calendar, which I'm going over now, right? We're going to start on section 1.1 today as well. We'll finish that one because it's a pretty short section. And then we'll probably get like halfway through section 1.2 as well. Yeah. Okay. Um, Week two, right? January 15th through January 19th. You can see that in green over here, I have holidays, right? Okay. So we're not going to be here next Monday. Of course, that doesn't affect you anyway. It's a Tuesday, Thursday class, but all of your Monday classes are canceled, right? So just so you know, if you weren't aware before. Okay. And then it says the things we're covering that week and so on and so forth. So if you ever want to know when a homework assignment is due, well, first of all, you could check in MyLab Math, right? It has all the due dates over there for all the assignments, right? So you could always just check there for when an assignment is due. But also, if you were to just check your calendar, right? Since this stuff was covered in week two from January 15th through January 19th, that Sunday after January 19th, which would be the 21st, right? That would be when these assignments are due, right? That Sunday after January 26th, which would be January 28th, that would be when this assignment is due, and so on and so forth. Okay, fair enough. So it's always the Sunday of the week that we covered it. Yeah. Now, there's a review for test one. I like to have a review before each test, right? Okay. And I left myself a little bit of wiggle room here, just in case like we got a little bit slow here in this week. So yeah, this review for test one and week three, right? That might be like, sort of overflow time for covering all the material that's going to be on test one. Okay. And then on week four, right, we'll have a review for test one, and then we'll have test one that Thursday, right? Okay. It covers everything from 1.1 through 1.5. You can see that I have it in red over here, so it really pops, right? You can see it really easily. Um, Anytime I have a test, it's in red. Anytime there's a holiday, I have it in green. Okay. The final exam, right, is on April 30th from 10 to 12. I don't expect you to remember that, but I do expect you to remember that it's in the calendar, right? So don't email me to ask when the final exam is because I'm not going to remember either. I'll just check the calendar like a day before the final exam starts. Okay. Yeah. So that's probably the biggest question I get at the end of the semester, but it's in the calendar. Okay. So don't worry about it. And you can see it covers everything in the course from section 1.1 through 4.4. Okay. So any questions about the calendar? Any questions?